The best in poker news, entertainment, and more. This is the Mark Hoke Show.
All right, everybody, how we doing today? We are live here at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. Main event underway, kids, and of course we're on day 1B as these players chasing this huge prize pool, $10 million guaranteed. Somebody's going to be walking out of here with a lot of money this year. Of course, Blair Hinkle taking this thing down last year, picked up about $1.74 million. Not a bad payday for a week's worth of work. And a couple of the guys trying to bring that home this time around here in 2014. Of course, we're live at the Seminole Hard Rock, Hollywood, Florida. And the stars are out here at poker. I'll tell you what, I know there's a couple of events happening right now, but you are not going to find the star power at any of them that we've got here, as more and more of the great players in the game are showing up here at the Seminole Hard Rock, getting things rolling, and they are just going on break right now. 15-minute break for the players as they are right now at 75-150 and just getting things underway. Of course, waiting to hear that familiar call of floor, seat open, and it's going to happen a lot today. And, of course, tomorrow is going to be an absolute blowout of an afternoon. So make sure you stick with us here on the Mark Hoke Show as we bring all the information and action to you live here from the Seminole Hard Rock, and, of course, some of the greats of the game showing up here. And if you want to check out the past videos we've had from the shows so far, plus, of course, our World Series videos, Canadian Poker Tour, all sorts of great stuff is up on YouTube right now. Just put in my name, Mark Hoke, and you'll find them. Right now, all these players getting it rolling. And, of course, we've seen a ton of poker superstars here today as Marvin Rettmeyer, Eugene Katchaloff. We've actually got Ryan Reese playing next to Huck Seed in this tournament. That's an unreal matchup right there going on. Carlos Mortensen is here, Amanda Musumeci, Dave Inseberg in the field. So many of the great players in the game duking it out this afternoon. Right now, 346 entries already into today's field. I believe we had 334 yesterday. So got to be careful. And I'll tell you what, everybody start getting rolling in here. I won't go so far as to say there is a chance for an overlay. I doubt that's going to happen. But we are certainly, like to see the numbers get up a little bit here. So wherever you are, come on down. It's your shot, $5,300 buy-in, and you can play for this unbelievable prize at this great facility here at Seminole Hard Rock. Of course, by the way, I got to say, Al is one lucky son of a gun. Because tonight, you can not only come down here and play poker, but you can see Slash. That's right. The former Guns N' Roses guitarist is going to be here live tonight. They're going to putting on a show, I'm sure. So make sure you come on down, and if you're here playing, pick up your tickets because I'm sure, it's not a bad show. It'll be all right. Yaf, is that going to be a good show tonight?
Absolutely.
You sure? Yeah, it's Slash. Gotta love it. All right, so I'll tell you what, let's go back, and we're going to take a look at what happened yesterday as we start, of course, just getting some updates in from what is going on. It's very early in the going this afternoon, but we'll take a fast look at yesterday's action here at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. And we'll slide this down for you. All right, let me get where I want to go here. Ta-da, I swear to God, it's here. It really is. I think I bypassed it. Of course, yesterday, Jared Jaffe, won a bracelet at the World Series of Poker, now expanding his reach out of the Northeast, takes home the chip lead. He, of course, wins the bonus that they picked up, too, so it's another $5,000 in his pocket. And the player gets second most chips every day on these starting days picks of 2,500. Jared Jaffe gets to be your leader here going into day 2, at least from day 1A. Some of the chip stacks, and we'll get to all of them in a little bit, but Jaffe bagging 462,800 chips. David Farber picks up 364,100. Ben Lamb is in the house, and I know he was playing a couple of the guys from former November Niners as well. Ben Lamb goes at 275,700. John Dolan at 272,900 chips. Roddy Balling at 263, and Daniel Wyman, who's been having a great series, of course, won an event earlier here in the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open, finished third in the charity series of poker event. He bags 231,000, so one of the good young players in the game getting it rolling. A great story yesterday, of course, Joe Reddick, who just missed out winning an event here on a chop by 8,000 chips. Unbelievably was in major trouble here, and it was actually about 30 minutes to play yesterday. Pushed in with 50K with a 10-7 because he just didn't want to bag a short stack, according to him. He ended up shipping it, but he won a side pot, had 2,600 in chips. But then all of a sudden ran that to 81,000. So an attempted chip dump turns into profit for Joe Reddick as he bags 81,000 yesterday. Some of the other ones, some other chip stacks. Uncle Crunk is in the house yesterday, as we mentioned, and he has bagged 198,300. John Racner, runner-up in the 2010 main event, 187,000. Anthony Zeno, of course, a WPT champion, a 169,500. Josh Aryeh, who just continues to have a great year. He just tore it up in the World Series this year, and now trying to get it done here too. In fact, he actually tweeted a really nice picture of all the umbrellas on the beach because he bagged 167,500 chips and managed to buy himself a couple of days off. Nick Schulman, 98,000. Jason Mercier just come over from the EPT Barcelona yesterday, 90,500. Former world champion Joe Cotta, 82,200. Defending champion Blair Hinkle, 69,400. And Moshe Charnaya at 45,600. We'll get some other chip stacks in a second. But of course, some of the players went down yesterday and decided not to buy back in until today. Todd Terry, Chris Mormon, Ian O'Hara, Justin Zaki, who had a nice run here in one of the events, bubbling actually. Chance Corneth, the Grinder, Michael Mizraki, Vanessa Selbst, all busting out early. Vanessa busted very early yesterday and decided to heck with it. I'm going to just come back tomorrow. Some other chip stacks. Brian Hastings, who had a great run in the $1 million guarantee here, 184,000. Carlos Loving, 158,900. Good buddy from Minnesota, Blake Bond, 122,400. Matt Stout at 122. Daniel Buzgon at 106. Paul Bilzano, 95. Bart Hansen, of course, had a pretty solid World Series this year. He's at 68,300. Victor Zabriza out of Brazil at 54,000. Cliff Goldkind, 47,900. David Paradis at 47,000. And Matt Affleck coming in short, bags at 17,200. So kind of surprised Matt didn't give that chip stack up. I'll be interested to see if he did, but pretty tough one there. All right, some of your other chip leaders. Let's take a look at this list. Kevin Schaffel starts off today at 40. I'm sorry, lost it there a second. 208,700. Nicholas Augustino, 204,200. And there's Uncle Crook, Robert Panich at 198,300. Jimmy Dowda out of Groveland, Florida, 191,300. Taking a look at some other names here for you. Christopher Sensoli out of Macomb, Michigan, at 186,800. Let's see, we got Cedric Adam, 185,600. Michael Wint out of Lauderhill, Florida, 178,600. Luke Brereton, 172. Octay Altenboss out of Fort Lauderdale, 168,700. Of course, you have Josh Ari there, Carlos Loving. David Tiffenberg out of St. Petersburg at 156.3. Alexander Haber, we saw him earlier at a final table in this series, 147,700. Timothy Miles, 147.5 out of Miami. Joshua Latinas out of Las Vegas, my stomping grounds now, at 136. 8. David Bromberg out of the Woodlands, Texas, 132.6. Noah Schwartz on the board. Of course, he lives here in Florida as well. Or is from Florida, I should say. 130,700 chips. Matt Stout follows up a pretty good performance in the Six Max a couple of days ago with a 122,000 chip stack. Ricardo Alvarado out of Las Vegas, 117.2. Kishore Bakata at 111,900. And just running down, looking at some other notables here as we check out these chip stacks. It's going to be Joe Cotta there. Zach Grunberg, of course, had that great World Series where he had 4 huge cashes. The State College area native out of Pennsylvania at 72,300. Montgomery Cole out of Naples, Florida, 69,500. And we'll keep sliding it down here. Let's see. Looking for any more notable players here. Looks like that's going to be about it. And, of course, a couple guys putting some short stacks in there, deciding not to risk it here. Under starting stack, of course, guys starting with 30,000 chips in here. Billy Young out of Davie, Florida, 27,600. Blaine Dermott out of Codonegal, 27,000. Eula Horvath out of Davie, Florida, 25,200. Michael Simpkins out of Miami Beach is going to be starting on day 2 at 24,000. Philip Novick out of Cooper City, Florida, 19.8. Of course, we said Matt Affleck bagging 17.2. Ori Hen out of Cooper City, Florida, 16,000. And Errol Massey is going to be the short stack of the day, coming in at 15,000 chips. So, of course, once again, we had 334 entries into yesterday's 1A, and 98 of them are through. So that's where we stand right now. Uh-oh, Yafa's moving closer to me. This could be scary for her. I don't know. Of course, Yafa's Rocky, PR director here at the Seminole Hard Rock. And, of course, they've got a lot going on. Of course, Shannon Elizabeth doing pieces with her as she is the official hostess here for the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open main event. The team getting ready for Slash showing up tonight. Should be a pretty exciting afternoon here. All right, and let's see. Also, of course, let's take a look at some of your entrants for today. Of course, Natasha Barber is in there along with quite a few others. Let me hit the Twitter up and we'll take a look on that. Cliff Josephy is in the house. Of course, Cliff, let's see, he is down to 21K on the break, just getting himself started in this thing. Darryl Fish playing this flight as well. Michael Wang is in here. Of course, Michael, 3 final tables at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open main event. He's hopping in here today too. Great tweet from tweet from C. Mitch M. Plans today: number 1, play Sats to SHRPO main event. 2, if failed, drink. 3, if successful, drink. The night should end in a blur either way. That should work out all right. Let's see how that goes. Let's see who else is hopping in here today. Bobby Abudi, of course, former Borgata Open champion, is in the house today as he's going to be looking to try and add maybe this Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open main event to his resume. Russell Thomas, former November Niner, in here. Matt Haugen is in the house as well. And players are coming back to the seats right now, getting ready. All right, and wow, Marvin Rettmeyer did hop into this thing last night. Decided to fire a first bullet, and then 9-3 off against ace-9 suited on a 9-5-3 board. And he gets knocked out on day 1A. But at least he had 3 seats to himself yesterday from Barcelona to Miami. That's a win, trust me. Huge win for him. All right, and some of the other social media things we're seeing here. Of course, you want to get involved with the social media here at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. Just tweet at SHRPO and, of course, hashtag SHRPO. And we'll see that along with, of course, the blog team over here, Al Canhang and Felix Mock and everybody else, and Kayleen, keeping an eye on things there. Marsha Wolak has come back off her break at 40K. David Williams apparently reporting he will be here tomorrow. I have a feeling tomorrow's going to be nuts in here. I'm going to we always like to give a little advice to some people in terms of registration and things like that based on what's going on. And I think that if you're here and deciding to wait until tomorrow to get into this, I would not do so. Tomorrow I think is going to be an insane day in here. So, if you want to fire some bullets, I think today might be a good day to do it. Right now at 353 entries. Of course, players can register up until the start of level 10, so that'll be at the dinner after the dinner break ends. So it should be a pretty interesting afternoon. Tyler Patterson is in the house here again. He is playing day 1B. I think that's all we've got from players on social media right now. All right. So let's step back and take a break, and we'll see who's flying around here. We got a ton of great people in the house. Of course, the gang from All In Magazine is here covering the event. Of course, our staff here at the Seminole Hard Rock, who's been an amazing host. God bless him. And some of the Poker Stars team is here, too, as they're, of course, having a live stream coming up here. We're going to be streaming the main event final table and the super high roller final table here at the Seminole Hard Rock. So everybody get ready for Joe Stapleton to rock your world. He's darned good at it. So we'll check out what's going on with those guys in just a bit. So I'll tell you what, let's step back, take a break, and we'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. Thank you for joining us. We're live here at Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open here in Hollywood, Florida. So stick around, everybody. We will be right back.
Poker players, it's time to check out DeegePoker.com. Deej Poker is the unique and clever choice for a new generation of true grinders, representing the full spectrum of poker players from the novice to the world champion. A true Deej player gives their heart and soul for countless hours at the table to be the best. And Deej Poker Apparel shows everyone who you really are, on and off the felt. So join the new generation at DeegePoker.com. That's DeegePoker.com. Deej Poker, the world's newest poker apparel store.
I'm Dutch Boyd, two-time WSOP bracelet winner, and I want to share my story with you. 12 years as a pro has taught me a lot. For the last year, I've boiled it all down into a tell-all book, 90,000 words. In Poker Tilt, I take you on my journey through all the ups and downs that poker has to offer, all the manic highs and hellish lows of every bad beat and lucky draw. So go to www.pokertilt.com to read more, or just go buy the new book on Amazon or Kindle right now, pokertilt.com. I guarantee you'll enjoy the ride.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
Sports bettors, tired of getting beat every week at your sportsbook? It's time to stop guessing and start winning. We all know cash is king, and it's time to let the team at Double Digit Covers come to the rescue to help you get the positive cash flow you need to live the life you've always dreamed about. Tony Dos and his all-star sports handicapping team will be in your corner to help you beat the point spread, bring excitement and winning to your betting experience, and build your bankroll to levels you never thought possible. Get free winning sports information at doubledigitcovers.com. Stop guessing and start winning today at doubledigitcovers.com.
Call now for today's free winner. 1-855-489-2700. That's 1-855-489-2700.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit blindsquirrelapparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Masura stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, let's return to The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we're back live here at Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. Main event going on right now. $10 million plus on the line. Here on day 1B. Now up to 358 entries counting. Here on day 1B. Of course, so many of the great players that we making their appearances here at Seminole Hard Rock. Of course, the premier events on the poker calendar here in the U.S. and, of course, around the world, too. All right, and before we keep it moving, I do want to take a second to discuss something that happened with our KLAV family. Of course, do the show on KLAV 12:30 a.m. on Wednesdays at 3 o'clock Pacific time and replay Friday at 9. We unfortunately lost a member of our family, and especially kind of hit home to a really good friend of mine at the station, Lou Ocampo, who hosted the show on KLAV, the Seven Leaves radio show, and was also the fiance of my good friend and account executive at KLAV, Bruce Garrett, passed away on the 21st. And we wanted to pass along our condolences to her family, friends, and especially good friend Bruce. I know, I got to meet Lou, terrific lady, and very, very sad to see that happen. If you're back in Las Vegas, where the show is based, on Saturday, there is going to be a small memorial get-together with all of our Las Vegas friends and family, and Lou's children are going to be there too, along with Bruce, at Bar Cata Avenue. There's a Filipino and ethnic fusion gourmet food and bar and restaurant, 2605 South Decatur Boulevard. So if you would like to stop down there and pay your respects, certainly more than welcome to do so. Unfortunately, being here, I won't be able to attend, but please take a second and stop down. And also, if you do want to make donations in lieu of flowers, they of course could use some little bit of help for the funeral and transportation costs. So just to give you that information, Bruce did set up some accounts at Wells Fargo. If you want to make even a $5 or $10 donation, those account numbers are up on, let's see, that's on Irma Zarita, social media manager's website over there at irmazarita.com, so you can get all that information. And I would certainly appreciate if you could hop in there too. But very sad to see that. And Bruce, I hope you're doing well, buddy. All right, so I wanted to make sure we got through that. Okay, so back to what's going on here at Seminole Hard Rock. I'll tell you what, everybody is just working so hard around here. I don't think people understand how difficult it is to put together a series like this. It takes such a coordinated effort, and they've been doing a fantastic job here. I got to tell you, in terms of administering this series, or administering the series, right up there, if not better than the World Series staff sometimes. They do some amazing things here. And if you haven't come down to the Seminole Hard Rock, you better get down here now because there's a lot happening. And, of course, your chance at this $10 million guarantee. Other events going on, by the way. We have going on, today, Friday. So mostly qualifiers going on right now. But we have qualifiers going on 9 a.m., and they'll be doing that tomorrow, too. 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8 p.m., all 1 in 10 championship qualifiers with re-entry. The 8 p.m. is a turbo event, $575 to buy in on those. Coming back tomorrow, then, the 5 p.m. one is a 1 in 5 qualifier, $1,125 to play in that. But, man, 1 in 5 shot to get into this thing. Not a bad deal. Zoe Cream, by the way, making his way into the house, so say hi to Zoe. Also playing off today, actually it's just all the championship qualifiers. Then we come back tomorrow with day 1C of this thing, more qualifiers, but some other good events too. So if things don't go well for you, you got a chance to come down here and play a little bit more. As we'll be looking at Sunday, we have the No Limit Hold'em re-entry event, $1,100 buy-in, $100,000 guarantee. That is a 2-day event, so chance to really pick up some nice coin on that one. Monday, a ton of other tournaments coming off here on Labor Day. Of course, we have a holiday deep stack no limit hold'em reentry, $250 buy-in, $30,000 guarantee. Excuse me. The high roller starts off $100,000 buy-in, day one of that for the deep stack no limit hold'em re-entry tournament. Boy, re-entering with a $100,000 buy-in. That's pretty sick. Also on Monday, a $1,650 purple chip no limit hold'em re-entry tournament. That is going to be a 2-day event, and starting at 5 p.m., $150 buy-in, no limit hold'em re-entry, $50,000 guarantee. That is going to be. They got a day 1A, 1B on that one, and then we go to day 2, wrapping that up on Wednesday. Also starting off on Tuesday, then we've got a Pot Limit Omaha high-low re-entry tournament for $250, and Wednesday there's also a big stack no limit hold'em re-entry tournament. And of course, they're going to be getting ready for the live streams. Both the Super High Roller and the main event live streams are going to be broadcast, and the gang at Poker Stars TV is going to be here, so get ready because Stapes is going to be destroying Florida. Hurricane Joe hits the coast here in Hollywood, Florida. So we'll look forward to seeing Joe and the team in here. And just to give you a little information that we have on that, on Tuesday, the final table for we got a broadcast going off at 2 p.m. Broadcast will be airing at 3 on a 1-hour delay. And then Wednesday at 2 o'clock, we'll have our the final broadcast for Poker Stars TV, as they'll be bringing you the Super High Roller and the main event. So it should be a pretty exciting stuff. And Neil's kind of hanging out over here. Hi, Neil. Hey, do you want to come say hi? Got anything exciting going on? Not really? I mean, I know you're a busy man over here. We're going to get Neil Johnson here. Neil, of course, is the head of live poker operations for Poker Stars Europe. Neil, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Having a great time here at the Seminole Hard Rock. Welcome.
Thank you very much. My first time actually here. I've never been to the property before. Didn't get to come to this event last year or in April, so it's really a fantastic setup. Love the room, love the vibe. It's a great show.
Yeah, great place to hang out too. Huh? Not bad.
Absolutely. I haven't been to the pool yet, but my hotel room looks right down on the pool.
Oh, you love it.
And it looks absolutely amazing. So hopefully this weekend, once they get through 1C and everything, I'll be able to wander down and take a look at the amenities here.
You know, you're lucky because my view is at the top of a building.
That's most of the views I've had in Vegas for the last 6 or 7 years. Oh, look, there's a brand new air conditioner on top of that one.
Yeah. It's pretty sensational. So, well, let's talk a little bit about PokerStars' involvement here with the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. I mean, you guys were doing registrations. You've got the TV team coming out. I mean, there's a lot happening with this event.
Yeah, well, it's it's a great association with the Seminoles. They were really nice to send us a seat for this event and a beautiful guitar for our bubble prize over at the 100th EPT Barcelona, and it was fantastic of them to do that. And so we sent a prize that you know intimately well, the prize for LAPT Bahamas. That you managed to bink, coming in second in the charity event the other night. And, we've want to bring our web team over, and we're going to put the Super High Roller final table and the main event final table onto the webcast. So it's a great association at this point, and we're excited to be helping them out and for them to help us out.
Well, given what has gone on between PokerStars and the U.S. and state governments here, how did you guys end up actually making a decision to get involved with this event? Because, obviously there's so much discussion and controversy and political things happening here with PokerStars in the United States. How did that come about that you guys ended up, being even willing to do something like this?
Well, to be honest, being very honest, a ton of that stuff is basically above my pay grade, so I don't really have any insight, any opinion, anything like that. But at the very base bottom of it is something that I know that the players appreciate, and that the operators, even though sometimes it looks like we don't, that the operators are paying attention to, and that's what is in the best interest of the players. A lot of this came about discussions on. It had nothing to do with super high level discussions, but the discussions between tournament organizers, between Bill Mason and Ray Stefanelli and the guys here at the Seminoles, and Edgar Stuchley and the guys on the EPT and everything, because when the schedules were initially announced, you've got EPT in Barcelona and the Seminole Hard Rock Open clashing. They were running directly against each other, which isn't good for either organization, and it's not good for the players at all, right, forcing them to choose between two amazing events. These Barcelona and the SHRPO were the two biggest 5Ks outside of Las Vegas last year. And so why would you want all the players to have to choose between what should be the two biggest events on the calendar, certainly in summer? So we got together and we started talking, and the Seminoles were able to move their dates by a little bit, shift their main event, which was fantastic of them. It worked with some of their remodels as well, so it worked for the property. And we were a little bit tighter because our dates in Barcelona are booked years in advance, so we didn't really have as much wiggle room there. But it worked just as cooperation to make both events better, to help the players be able to attend both amazing events. And then it just expanded out a little bit. We provide some DBI. They gave us a seat. And it's worked out really well. And as far as what it means for the future, I have absolutely no idea.
Good answer.
I'm before just preempting that question, I have absolutely no idea. I'm enjoying my time here. It's great to meet all the people here. All the players I spoke to last year had fantastic things to say about this event. So just as someone who's been in poker for as long as I have and is basically an operator planning these events and designing tours, it's great to go to other events and see what the players think is so good about those events. It's I try and make it to the series every year. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But you want to go to the series, I try to make it to some WPTs each year. And I hadn't been to this one. The players said great things, so I wanted to check it out.
And of course, the European Poker Tour going into season 11, if I'm correct.
Yep.
I mean, it's fascinating because I've never gotten to go to an EPT event yet, but looking forward to that happening at some point.
You got to come out.
I want to come out. That tour has just become so successful, and the broadcasts are very popular. Thanks to Joe. I mean, we'll just put it all on Joe.
Absolutely. It's all. If it wasn't for Challenge Stapes, where he can sell sand on the beach in Barcelona, where he can be princess for a day in Monaco. I mean, if it's not for Stapes, that Hardigan guy, who knows what the hell he's doing?
Yeah,
but that Stapes guy, now he makes you laugh. He makes you laugh.
And the tour continues to grow and grow. Where do you see the EPT going here in the next couple of years? For us, this was the 100th EPT. It's the culmination of 10 full seasons going into the 11th season. I've been lucky enough. I've been with Stars since the start of season 5, but I worked on the tour for the first 4 seasons as well. So I've been for the entirety of the tour, and it is amazing to see how much it has grown and where to me the sky is the limit. I get really excited, and we were going into Barcelona and we hadn't seen the numbers yet, but we were obviously really hoping. But I was busy working on the Prague schedule with Thomas Lamache,
our tournament director is going to run that. And I was already more excited about Prague than I was about going into Barcelona because I was like, oh, look at all these new events, all these fun variants we get to play, all this. Because for me, it's like having my own tour to play with. Because we get to pick what we want to do for the live poker. We pick the games, we pick the structures, we pick all of that stuff, and obviously it's working because the numbers have been incredible and breaking every record in Barcelona. So to me, when you talk about where does the tour go, I think the sky is the limit. There's no reason to think that we couldn't get 3,000 uniques in the Estrellas main event next year. We went from 2 years ago we had 1,036. Last year we had 1,798, and this year we had 2,560. So, and this is for a tournament that has no re-entry. So this is a freeze-out. This is totally unique bodies, and that event should be more than 3,000 players next year. The main event was 1,496, the 5K EPT main event. I would expect that the existing record for any EPT is 1,560 from the 2011 PCA, and I expect us to just absolutely destroy that record next year and hopefully move into high 16s, maybe even 1,700 for Barcelona. Because I talked about this when I did some webcast in Barcelona. I think lots of tournaments hit a critical mass point where the people that I've spoken to here in Florida who weren't able to make it over were all...
Will Fiello, what a shock.
Yeah, we don't have a censor, Will. This is live. What the hell?
It's not the first time Will has bombed my show. I know it won't be the last either.
But the people that I've spoken to here have been they've all been super disappointed they weren't able to come over. So, and that's when you've really reached a point where everybody has to come. Is the people who missed it were like, oh my God, how did I miss it? I can't believe I got sick that week or something like that. So I think London's going to be a fantastic setup, and Prague is just going to be. I mean, last year it was setting records right behind Barcelona. So now we've moved a 50K super high roller there to help get more of the high roller players to come. But the 10K high roller we had in Barcelona had 393 entries.
That's unbelievable.
That's more than the grand final main event was getting, which was also €10,000 in the first few seasons of the tour. And now it's, I don't say just a side event, but it is just a side event. The high roller is just another event as part of the festival. And it's 400 people for a 10K Euro. Just amazing.
Yeah, congratulations on the success there.
Thank you.
Let me ask you one question about what happened in Barcelona real quick, and then I want to get away from it. But, of course, the controversy with the T-shirts that happened on the live stream out there that, of course, you guys kind of had to make some quick decisions after that was over. Tell me a little bit about what happened with that whole situation and why you guys reacted the way you did.
Well, it's there was a number of blogs written afterwards. Robbie Straczynski wrote some stuff. Vicky Corin, Daniel Negreanu, Nolan Dalla wrote some very interesting stuff on that. And a couple of them did point out what I think is kind of the core thing, and is that the Stars was basically in a lose-lose at that point in time once Daniel and Olivier made the decision to wear those shirts. If they had been censored at the start of it, then there's a Twitter firestorm over censorship. And when you allow them to wear it, then there becomes a Twitter firestorm over wearing it. And I think the proper decision has been made at this point. Olivier also tweeted out that, he agreed and respected the decision that had been made afterwards. It's probably, this was the prevalent opinion among most players that I spoke to, is it's probably not the arena for that type of expression.
I agree.
And it's I think, I respect everybody's right to have any opinions that they want to in their personal lives, on their personal blogs, on their personal Twitters, and all of that stuff. But it's probably just not the forum for that type of thing. The whole reason most poker television exists is to try and grow the game. That's the reason that the WPT pays for their broadcast, that the World Series and ESPN have their deal, that the EPT pays for its broadcast. Is you're trying to grow the game, get more people playing, and all of that stuff. And I think that probably just detracts from the overall message of, look, we had 8 people playing for, I'm blanking on it now, but I think first prize was
€1 million.
First prize was, I think first prize might have been over €1 million, depending on, because I know they chopped, Daniel
right.
and Olivier did, but, you're playing for €1 million. There was, I can't remember the prize pool now. I think it was almost 7 million or 6 million. There was 77 entries at 50K. So my math is broke, but
it was a lot of money.
A lot of money on the line, and you want people to be into that moment. We've got the webcast going. We're filming it for air later on, and to be excited about the competition element and watching, and let's face it, that final table was stacked, as all super high rollers are. It's amazing poker being played, and that's really what you want the focus to be on.
Yeah, it's about the fun.
Yeah.
And to take away from that, I've had to deal with on my show. We just had Robbie on my show, my KLAV show on Wednesday, going through all that again, and I'm hopefully going to be done talking about it soon, because I'm kind of getting tired of it. But we all just want to use poker as an escape. It's still a game when it comes down to it. We want to have fun, So.
Oh, I firmly believe I've written a couple of blogs about the fun in poker, and that's the element. It's the element you want to make sure. It's like there was a great article by Brad Willis on the PokerStars blog last year, I think, when he was at the series about the seniors event. And lots of people have written about the seniors event, about the difference in the atmosphere when you watch a seniors event play out and you watch all the other events play out with the hoodies and the headphones and the sunglasses and all the rest of it, versus the seniors who are sitting back having coffee or having a drink, laughing and talking and just enjoying the thing. And that's the element sometimes that gets lost. And it's, and let's face it, I've participated in more discussions about putting the fun in poker than I ever contemplated being a part of.
Yeah.
And for you and me, I don't know about your bankroll, but if I'm sitting there making decisions for 50,000 euros and 100,000 euros and €1 million, it's going to be really hard for me to have a fun time.
Right.
My stress level is going to be high, and the acid reflux, and they're like, I'm going to be on edge, and I don't know that fun is the word I'm going to use to describe for being four-handed at an EPT final table with millions on the line. But you can still make the overall festival experience and the experience of being there a lot of fun. Right. And I think that's something that can get lost sometimes. And people have the parties, and we've tried on the EPTs and Astraeus and UKI and all the tours we have over there of putting in different things, catamaran rides and go-kart rides and things to like enjoy the fact that you've just taken a trip to go somewhere and experience the place that you're at, instead of basically spending 24/7 in a poker room for 8 straight days and then going home.
Exactly. And I think one thing that has really happened, especially since we lost PokerStars here in the United States, and I think I saw it at the World Series this year more than ever, was it has become so much more of a business for these players, because now you don't have as many of the just true recreational players who are just firing a little bit of money in there. Everybody's kind of passing money amongst each other, and if you want to make money playing poker now at a high level, you've got to be on top of your game, and you have to be focused 100%, and it really has created a super serious atmosphere in these tournaments now.
Yeah, there is. Like I said, it's difficult for me to judge on that to an extent, because I know if you put me at the final table of this event here, it's a 10 million guarantee. Is it 2 million guaranteed to first? On the 10 million, or
I don't think it's a $2 million guarantee, but it'll be close to that.
Yeah, but it's going to be like 1.5 million or whatever to first by the time the prize pool, the dust settles and stuff. So you're putting me on a final table where the money moves by 6 figures every place. I don't know that I'm going to be able to have fun there. I might appreciate the moment that I'm in,
right.
And I think sometimes some people get that and some people don't. I actually. I was reading an article yesterday. I was personally deeply affected by the loss of Robin Williams, because he was one of the biggest influences on me growing up, and so I've read a lot of stuff on it. And there was a really great story by Mila Kunis, from that 70s show, and Ted and things like that. And she'd only really ever met him once, and they happened to all be on the lot at CBS. Just chatting, and she said she was really quiet, and he asked her name and was trying to draw her out, and she told him her name, and he said, "Oh, you're on that 70s show," and she said, "Yeah," and he said, "Take my advice." He said, "Enjoy this, remember this, take a moment to look around, because this doesn't happen and this doesn't go." And it wasn't like he was trying to have a Dead Poets Society moment with her or whatever, but that's what she referenced it after he passed. But it was a moment of take a second to realize where you're at. When you talk to people who make final tables and do that, and there are people, Mike McDonald, Jason Mercier, there are some pros who make a lot of final tables. These are impressive, these are good players and stuff like that. But when you see the 8 guys who made the final table in Barcelona were basically, they weren't amateurs. One guy had a couple scoop titles. These are players, but you're still at a final table of an event that had 1,500 people. There are millions on the line. Mm-hmm. How many times in your life are you going to be there?
Yep, exactly.
Take a moment and just be experience where you're at and why you're there. And I think sometimes that gets lost. Even even our winner, and this was hilarious, and I loved watching it. Joe Stapleton's doing the interview, and he's like, they cut a deal and played three-handed and then heads up for like another 8 hours. It was just, and they're only playing for $90K at this point. They chopped 2.3 million, and they're playing for 90,000, and it goes forever and ever and ever until 5 o'clock in the morning. And Joe asked him, said, why'd the heads up? Was the title that important? 100th EPT and stuff. And the guy was like, being honest, I wanted the 90 grand. And it was
it's unbelievable.
Hardigan and people are like, well, I guess so much for what the EPT title means. And so, but it was just really funny. He was honest. I want the 90 grand. And I get it. I would want the 90 grand too. I'm sure you want the 90 grand. 90 grand is a lot of money. But I kind of looked at it. I was kind of a little sad of going, don't you, like, maybe, and it's not that I work for the EPT, and so I think that title should mean anything. It doesn't matter if it was a bracelet, a WPT, an EPT. It doesn't matter what title it is. It's like you just played a grinding, epic 15-hour final table at one of the largest tournaments that's ever been held in Europe, and like just take a moment and let it soak in.
Yeah.
And so I think that's one of the elements that's missing for what you were saying. They're so focused on their ROI. How much is the rake? What did I make per hour? How many bullets did I have to fire? What do my backers want? How many pieces did I piece out? All of that? There's so much other stuff that's focused in sometimes that we lose a little bit of the element of really enjoying the moment.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, let me ask you about what's going on in Asia too. I mean, obviously you guys are starting to really build things up in there, and we just saw a huge event in China.
Oh, the Beijing Millions
was
amazing.
That was an unbelievable event. What's happening with you guys trying to get into that market? I mean, obviously we all know about Macau, but certainly the Asian market is becoming one that's turned out to be pretty lucrative.
Well, I mean, let's face it, isn't like 4/5 of the world's population over there?
Good point.
Just by sheer math, between India and China, there's what's that, 2.5 billion people, I think, between those two countries?
Yeah, it's a few people.
It's everything's tough. It's one thing that, as much as when you look in the United States and people try and figure out, how does online poker legislation work here versus here versus here, and you have the 50 different states, it's pretty much the same everywhere else. When anybody who's familiar with the regulated markets in Spain and Italy and France and things like that can understand that there's always going to be a different model. It's always going to be a headache moving back and forth, and that's the same thing, the same issues that you have in Asia, where as they either regulate or deregulate or unregulate or legal, illegal, and all of that stuff. And so Danny McDonough, who runs all of our stuff over in Asia, is just amazing at what he does over there. He's done fantastic things in Australia and New Zealand. And the Beijing Millions, it's fantastic that we're able to get in and have that event. They got 2,736 people. It's the only thing keeping EPT Barcelona or Estrellas Barcelona from being the biggest event that Stars had ever held, was the Beijing event that they held a couple months ago. Although in defense of Estrellas Barcelona, I will say that was the equivalent of a €300 unlimited re-entry event. So the 2736 is, I consider the 2560 uniques in Barcelona a better record, but 2,700 entries is ridiculous.
Yes.
For what they were able to do in Beijing, and it's a huge market. It's probably they say that Macau now makes more money than Vegas has since 2010, I think, for a gambling capital. I was there in late May. It's a beautiful room that we've got there in City of Dreams. Gorgeous hotel, Hard Rock actually, just like here, is one of the properties. I think, I know I said the sky's the limit earlier, but it's such an untapped region. But it's very touchy from a government perspective, from Japan, both Koreas, China, all of that. It's going to take quite a while before that develops on the scale of what those of us in like Western and Central Europe and the United States are used to dealing with.
Yeah, and of course, we miss you guys so much here. God, it just kills us. We're hoping.
Trust me, I'm American. I miss being here too.
Oh, it's so sad. But of course, now we have the live streams coming up here. You want to tell everybody a little bit about the live streams and what's going to be going on with that?
Yeah, well, anybody who's watched the EPT streams before on PokerStars.tv knows that we put a tremendous product. With respect to our competitors, I think the team that does the EPT streams is the best on the planet. It's the best poker stream. Stapes, Hardigan, Matt, and Mark, who basically do all of our commentary. brilliant. Graphical Nick is an is an underappreciated artist in his time. He's for people, if they've watched our stream, the Twitter feed that goes in our stream is fantastic. It's hilarious to be a part of. The guy who does all our graphics on our stream, Graphical Nick. You'll be able to find his Twitter tag as we go through, but I don't know it off the top of my head. He's famous for putting interesting things into the crawl. At the bottom.
Yeah, just a little.
And, like how many times so-and-so has sneezed during the broadcast, how many, it's like during the deal was taking a long time for the main event, and it was like the crawl said something like, it's entirely possible we might or might not have another maybe deal, kind of going through because it was taking so long for these guys to decide, and, poking, very lighthearted and very fun, meant to be entertaining fun at the players that are up on the table and in certain situations. And I just think it's incredibly professional. It's brilliant high-def stream that I think everybody will enjoy. For what we're doing here, we also have the benefit, since we're doing 2 final tables, the 100K final table and the main event final table, they're both going to be whole cards up, which makes it even more fun to watch because obviously now you know what everybody has.
Right.
So it eliminates some of the guessing game, and you never have that, oh, God, I really wish I knew what he had there, and, when it ends on the turn. So Stapes and James Hardigan will be giving you the call all the way through both days. I'll probably put in an appearance once or twice over the 2 days. But anybody who hasn't seen one of the PokerStars.tv webcasts, I encourage you guys to watch next week. They're amazing. There'll be some fun stuff from the Seminoles on there. There'll be some fun stuff from PokerStars on there. Everybody will just really enjoy it. And with the Super High Roller final table, it's guaranteed that we're going to have a tremendous lineup, because it's always talented players on that. And last year it came up to heads up between Blair and Justin, right?
Right.
For the final. So with this talented field that's going to play the 10 million guaranteed, it's very likely we're going to have some ridiculous talent on the final table of that as well. So you'll get some great poker insight. We've got some players here. Hopefully we can talk to a lot of these guys, maybe get them to pop in and give us some analysis. We get over on the EPTs, we'll get like Ike Caxton, Eugene Kachalov, Daniel Negreanu, those guys to pop in and provide some analysis. So hopefully we'll get some expert poker commentary for you guys as well when you're listening on those 2 days. It's the 2nd and the 3rd of next week.
I just want to ask one favor. Can I get on there for 2 seconds and throw something at Stapes during the show?
I would imagine we can find a time slot for you to jump on with Stapes and
Okay.
Hardigan.
I got to bounce something off his head, just for fun. Just for fun.
Yeah, well, I think they get in on Monday, so it might be Sunday. The crew arrives on Sunday. So when they get in, we'll definitely have you guys sit down together, and I'm sure we can work something out.
Okay, that's just one bomb. That's it. That's all I want. I love Stapes. One of the guys I respect most in this industry. He's a great guy, and got to meet him a few years ago and just love him to death.
They're both brilliant commentators. One of the best things that I've seen, and it's archived on Stars TV. All of our webcasts are archived on PokerStars.tv. If anybody wants to sit down and watch amazing 9 and 10 and 11, 12-hour coverage of every hand of the EPTs. When Vicky Corin was double dipping in San Remo and becoming the first champion to win 2 EPTs, because Vicky has such a huge following in the UK and around that part of Europe that don't play poker. She writes articles for Guardian, for newspapers in the UK. She's got a game show in the UK. Tremendously popular woman. Her husband's a very famous actor in the UK. So she has this huge following that doesn't know anything about poker. And Stapes and James put on a clinic of how to talk to both sides of an audience for effectively like 6 hours of that webcast, because there were so many of Vicky's fans listening. We're getting Twitter questions like, what is that red button thing that moves around the table? Because our dealer buttons have a big red spade on them. And these are people asking, like, what is the button? What's an ante? Why does that person have to put chips in before they have cards? So it's like the most C-spot run questions you could ever imagine about a poker tournament. While at the same time, you have poker aficionados who watch our broadcasts all the time, who play, who, they know what the button is, and they don't want time wasted being explained what the button is.
Right.
They want to know, what is he floating with on the flop? And they put on, it was absolutely impressive. I listened all day while I was doing work in San Remo, and to be able to basically keep both sides of the audience energized, the people who had no idea what the hell was happening, and the people who understood every nuance of what was happening, was incredibly impressive. It's a huge credit to Stapes and James Hardigan for being able to keep that large of an audience, because at that point in time, it was the biggest audience we'd ever had until Monaco, which grew that, and now Barcelona's broken that record as well. But I encourage everybody to listen, to watch, and to please tweet in. Like, we have so much fun with the guys on Twitter doing hashtag EPT Live. We have a bunch of contests where we give away card protectors, give away T-shirts. I'm sure the Seminoles will give us some cool stuff to give away and send out to people. And so I encourage everybody to listen. It's a great way to kill some time while you're playing poker, while you're watching TV, cleaning the house, whatever. I think everybody will have a lot of fun listening to broadcasts on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Should be great. I'll ask you one last question. I'll let you go, then. When are we going to have a PokerStars Antarctica tournament? You got to hit the last continent, my friend.
You know what? Believe it or not, that's actually been joked about and been on a drawing board or two. Obviously, the PokerStars philosophy is when you think poker, live, online, anything, we want you to think about us first. And so that means that you need to have events everywhere. And I see nothing wrong with that. I love outside the box stuff. There was a tournament in Vegas where they did it in an airplane. When you went bust, you had to jump. I remember that. Yeah, I was in St. Kitts. We did an underwater tournament where everybody's in scuba gear, and we did it at the first year they did it in a pool. The second year they did it actually out in the ocean, down at the underwater.
Wow. Yeah.
I think all that stuff is fun. We could certainly do the what the hell do they call it? It's not the 100-degree club. It's there's a thing you can do in Antarctica where is it the 100-degree club or
the
something?
Polar Bear Club or something?
Not Polar Bear Club. It's where you literally shift by over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Like you run outside into the snow and then you jump into a hot tub, or you jump from a hot tub to a thing, and you're shifting the core temperature by 100 degrees from the thing. And so if you go bust, you have to go run outside naked and then jump in the hot tub or something to do that 100-degree thing. I'm absolutely about all of that stuff. We'll make it crazy pineapple, high low with 3 boards.
I won't go naked, but I'm in. I love crazy pineapple high low. I think that'd be perfect, actually.
Crazy Pineapple, that's one of my favorite games. I will tell you before I go, I played this at the 2+2 party in Las Vegas. It's my new favorite game. It's so much fun. If I thought I could explain to enough people what the hell it was, I would put it as a tournament on the EPT. It's Omaha high-low, triple board, but it's still only a single high and a single low winning, but you're playing all 3 boards. The lowest river card kills its board. So if the river comes 4, 7, 9 across the 3 boards, the board that got the 4 goes away.
Ugh.
So if you were playing that for your quads or that for your whatever, that board is now gone. It also means if you got ace 3 and you need a deuce to make the nut low, you need to fold because the deuce on the end is going to kill that board anyway. And if it doubles up, say it comes 5-5 queen, both boards that got the 5 are gone.
Oh God.
And since we were playing cash game, if it was come say 7-7-7, where they're all the same, then the hand is dead and the pot goes to the dealer as a tip. Which apparently happened 2 years ago when they played it. But I love that game.
Your programmers would probably be sitting there pulling their hair out.
I think that's great. Well, I'm still trying to convince the programmers on Stars to put in Win the Button. Because I think Win the Button. I think there would be a lot of people who would play Win the Button 6 max on Stars. So it's on their list. They like the idea. It's on their list, but I mean we're working with PokerStars 7 at the moment to try and get that out and get it to everybody, and which is amazing, by the way. I've done a lot of playing with the beta on that, and it's gorgeous. So I'll let them finish that before I start giving them a whole bunch of goofy stuff that I think they should put in, double boards and triple boards and Win the Button and rivers and Super Hold'em and Irish Hold'em and all the fun stuff. Super Hold'em and Irish Hold'em you can play in Prague, by the way, at the EPT in December.
Oh my God. My mind is now blown. Should be a great event. Well, hey Neil, I want to thank you for taking some time to stop over, and it's good to talk to some PokerStars people.
I'm happy to do it. Hopefully, if Stapes and James get in, hopefully you can have them on and chat with them on Monday.
Well, I'll talk to James, but Joe can't be on the show anymore.
He's not allowed to be on the show anymore?
No. I love having Joe on the show. It's great. Neil, thank
you. All right.
You.
Yeah,
I appreciate
thank you.
It.
Enjoy. Thank
All
you,
right. There you go. Neil Johnson joining us here and talking a little PokerStars, EPT, all sorts of stuff happening with those guys, and someday they'll be back. Someday. Oh, great interview there. Thank you so much. All right, so let's take a break, and we're going to come right back here on the Mark Hoke Show and get you updated on what is going on here at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. 375 entries so far here on day 1B. They are on level 5. Of course, you guys can still get in here and register for day 1B up to after the dinner break here, so I believe after level 9 is the answer on that. So stick around, everybody. We'll be right back. More here from the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open in Hollywood, Florida, right after this.
poker players. It's time to check out DeegePoker.com. Deej Poker is the unique and clever choice for a new generation of true grinders, representing the full spectrum of poker players from the novice to the world champion. A true Deej player gives their heart and soul for countless hours at the table to be the best. And Deej Poker Apparel shows everyone who you really are, on and off the felt. So join the new generation at DeegePoker.com. That's DEEG Poker.com. Deej Poker, the world's newest poker apparel store.
I'm Dutch Boyd, two-time WSOP bracelet winner, and I want to share my story with you. 12 years as a pro has taught me a lot. For the last year, I've boiled it all down into a tell-all book, 90,000 words. In Poker Tilt, I take you on my journey through all the ups and downs that poker has to offer, all the manic highs and hellish lows of every bad beat and lucky draw. So go to www.pokertilt.com to read more, or just go buy the new book on Amazon or Kindle. Right now, pokertilt.com. I guarantee you'll enjoy the ride.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
Sports bettors, tired of getting beat every week at your sportsbook? It's time to stop guessing and start winning. We all know cash is king, and it's time to let the team at Double Digit Covers come to the rescue to help you get the positive cash flow you need to live the life you've always dreamed about. Tony Dos and his all-star sports handicapping team will be in your corner to help you beat the point spread, bring excitement and winning to your betting experience, and build your bankroll to levels you never thought possible. Get free winning sports information at DoubleDigitCovers.com. Stop guessing and start winning today at DoubleDigitCovers.com.
Call now for today's free winner. 1-855-489-2700. That's 1-855-489-2700.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit BlindSquirrelApparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Masura stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, let's return to the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we are back here at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. I do apologize, the camera shot was a hair off, nothing terrible, but the tripod got punted. Plenty of room to walk down there, guys, plenty of room. Let's hear it. Of course, if you want to get some information out about just talk about this tournament at SHRPO, hashtag SHRPO. I'm keeping an eye on it, along with the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open blog team. And you can go to shrpo.com and check out that great blog. Want to take a look at just some of the neat little things happening here on day 1B. Of course, we do have some great players in the house. David Benjamin is in here, and he just sat down with Amanda Musumeci. And not sure if Carlos Mortensen's still on that table or not. He was sitting next to Amanda a while ago. Zach Redlocks Kessler, we saw him at the World Series of Poker. He is here. Angel Vu, who is leading the Seminole Hard Rock Series here. Of course, they had other tournament events going on, and she is crushing it. Actually, I got to play against Angel in the Charity Series of Poker event, and she is deadly. I did not enjoy the experience at all. Todd Terry's in there, Darryl Fish, Joe Sirach is now here, Dan O'Brien, of course, Dan was in there yesterday, he's playing again today. Tyler Patterson, Kwao Hee Chen, and Adina Pantinchin is here as well. So more and more players coming in. Of course, that great matchup over on the far side of the room here with Ryan Reese and Huck Seed sitting next to each other in this tournament. Boy, you are not going to see that very often, as a couple of world champions are duking it out over there. And, of course, like I said, David Williams is going to be here tomorrow. So, of course, you want to check that out. We'll see DW in here. Some of the other tweets coming in on this whole thing, by the way. We'll take a look at this. Stuart Newman at STNE, or ST Newman, started up day 1B of SHRPO. 42K, start from 32, so he's hanging on in there, and he's playing with have Table of Legends, including Zipes and Jake Schindler on that one. We have a player making his way down here, and I really got to find out who that is, but it's at PipNice1. En route, this is unbelievable tweet. En route to visit mom and dad in Press Luck SHRPO, and took a picture of a rest area he's stopping at, and we'll just say Georgia Wee Wee stop and coffee refill. Hashtag SHRPO, hashtag poker, here I come. Tommy Bates, Hard Rock Tommy, of course, is the director at the Seminole Hard Rock Tampa, saying at Hard Rock Tommy sitting at SHRPO poker and wishing at Lacey Jones would walk through the door, just daydreaming, hashtag bombshell. That's not a bad one. And Faraz Jock is in the house too, up to 66K, started following from 30K starting stack after this hand. So, you know, some interest, everybody kind of dropping the lines in, saying hi, and of course, let's see what else we have. Lewis Leo the Fourth with 2 Stellar Enlightened Pros. Darryl Fish and at Raw_knit to my left. Not going to be easy stealing blinds. No, it is not. Joey Weissman in there up to 42K. He is feeling zen. Good for him. So all sorts of great stuff coming in on Twitter. So keep them coming, everybody. And, of course, you want to tweet me at Mark Hoke Show. Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show. Would love to have you, say hi to the show. We certainly appreciate it, and getting the follows as well. Also, now outside of here, we do have one other event finishing up today. The WPT Legends of Poker is wrapping up today. They are on day 4, final table. Now, a lot of the big names bit the dust in there, but Tyler Kenny is, of course, led after day 3. He is still out in this field, but he is in 3rd place at this point. Masood Eskandari at 5,975,000 chips, leading the way. Harut Union at 3,670,000 in 2nd place, and the average chip counts of 3.15. So Kenny is under there. Tyler Cornell at 2.525 million. Taylor McFarland at 2.25 million, and Jeremy Kotler at 1.975. Those guys chasing one of the most prestigious titles in poker there as well at the WPT Legends of Poker at the Bike. A couple of big names did not make it through yesterday. Kevin Stamen was trying to go back-to-back, but finishing 8th and 1st, not bad. He picks up $45,310 for his run, and Andy Frankenberger also finishing 10th as he was looking for his 2nd WPT Legends of Poker title. Comes up short, but nice payday for him, $24,815 as he finishes in 10th place. All right, and of course, once again, just to give you a reminder, what else is happening today? We have, of course, day 1B. You can still register for this thing. A long way to go on that. As you can register for levels 1 through 9. Those are 40-minute levels to start out, and then we get into levels 10 through 23. Actually, they're playing through level 13, if I'm correct. 60-minute levels on that, and of course, it's 90 the rest of the way. So you can re-enter until the start of level 10, so the bullets maybe fire, and hope everybody brought their Kevlar, because I have a feeling it's going to be a very much a re-entry day. We, of course, also have championship qualifiers once again going on. We had one start at 9 a.m. We've got another $575 championship qualifier starting at 3 p.m., 5 p.m. at $1,125 championship qualifier. 5 seats guaranteed on that one. And at 8 p.m., another $575 re-entry, 10-seat guarantee for that tournament. So we have some more opportunities for you to play and get into this thing if you want to try and win your way into this main event. Of course, there will be qualifiers going on all the way through tomorrow, too. So it should be a very entertaining afternoon here at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. Hey, and by the way, of course, I want to make sure real quick we thank our great sponsors of the show. Of course, I want to thank Blind Squirrel Apparel. Make sure you go to blindsquirrelapparel.com. 20% off with the code HOKE. That's HOKE at blindsquirrelapparel.com. Look good and be lucky. Blind Squirrel Apparel. Our friends at Double Digit Covers. Football season, the games are underway. And by the way, go Bison. Time to keep that undefeated streak going. Hopefully we can get through it with Iowa State today. And of course, the boys, a lot of guys graduate off the 3-time defending national champion team. But we'll see what they can do with the Cyclones this afternoon. But if you want to know what to bet, how to do it, I mean, they'll take care of you. Go to doubledigitcovers.com and you can get a free winner today. Just mention the Mark Hoke Show. Call 855-489-2700. It's 855-489-2700. And I'm getting the handshakes. I tell you what, it's good to see everybody at this thing. And you know, it's really, and I got to tell you, it's really fun after pulling that little second place off. You know, and I forgot to thank PokerStars for the prize on the air. I do apologize. That's terrible of me. It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to going to PCA. BlueRail.net, how far do you want to go? They build websites, and they do it very well. Of course, Bob Lusk and the team has been helping the Mark Hoke Show for a long time. Bob, one of the nicest guys you're ever going to want to work with. Again, we'll call it 522-820-5128. That's 522-820-5128. And you too can benefit from the Blue Rail experience on your website today. And, of course, check out RogueWire.com. Give them a like on Facebook. I'd certainly appreciate that. Check them out at RogueWire.com. Also, our good friends at the Nevada Poker League. Hey, if you want to play poker for free, you're just getting started or you're just want to get out of the grind. We were talking about having fun playing poker, and that's one place to do it. In Las Vegas, 17 different locations, $50,000 in cash and prizes. Go to NevadaPokerLeague.com. And of course, Dutch Boyd's a great book, Poker Tilt, and that book is just, it's a must-read for anyone that has ever played the game. It is just something spectacular. You're going to love it. Check it out at PokerTilt.com. Pick it up on Amazon today. And, of course, also our great ladies team, the Grindettes. Make sure you go to Grindettes.com. And say hi to Katie Dozier, Katie Stone, Jen Shahadi, and Jamie Kerstetter at Grindettes.com. Follow them on Twitter at Grindettes and Facebook, the Grindettes. Yep. And last one, of course, don't forget our good friends at Deej Poker. That's right, like Degenerate, DEEGpoker.com. The newest poker apparel company out there. Some very unique stuff. So check it out at DegePoker.com. All right, and of course, once again, want to thank Seminole Hard Rock for having us out here. Ray Stefanelli taking a walk by, looking dapper as usual. Very nice. And of course, once again, we're live here at Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open, enjoying this main event going on right now. And once again, we're probably going to wrap our afternoon show up here shortly. We'll be back on at 7 p.m. But just a reminder, check us out at markhokeshow.com. You can also listen to the Mark Hoke Show on KLAV 1230 a.m. In Las Vegas, and of course on the internet at KLAV1230am.com. People listen all over the world, and check us out at our podcast at markhokeshow.podbean.com. And you can listen to us on your mobile phone, markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. I have an app. I think that's pretty cool. All right. So looks like I said, I think we've pretty much got all our updates on the board. We're on level 5 right now. About 21 minutes left in that, playing 100, 225. Andy, as these guys start their quest for trying to win a big piece of that $10 million prize. We had 2 millionaires here last year. I'm sure we'll see at least that this time around. So once again, if you want to follow the updates as they are going on this afternoon, check it out at shrpo.com or Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open.com and see everything that's going on. All right, and that'll do it for us. Hey, thanks for being with us. And, of course, I want to thank Neil Johnson for being on the show here, the head of live poker operations for Poker Stars Europe. Great to have him on the show, and I know it always makes us have some pangs of missing and lost love, but they'll be back soon, we promise. All right, so we'll see you guys at 7 p.m. Eastern Time this afternoon here from the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. Guys, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you later on tonight here live on the Mark Hoke Show. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll catch you this evening.